Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 23 of the KCGN podcast. My name is Jeff, and joining me today is my co-host, Daniel.
It's been another month.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, somewhere around that much.
Yeah, it's been busier.
According to YouTube, it says 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, it was a month.
So that
which is fine. I mean,
it's not necessarily.
We're coming up almost on a year.
Because
Because remember, we started this podcast
at around E3, yeah.
we were going to talk about E3. And I think we had that idea about 2 years ago, actually. So this is why we started. Like, we wanted to talk about E3, and it just turned into a podcast, and now it's turned into more than that. And we're trying to turn it into more than that, and hopefully we can get to where we want to be with it.
And I feel like our next big step is going to be, moving into streaming and stuff. So,
well, we've already streamed, and we have the capture device.
We just want to have a bigger presence in streaming. So
now we can record, Wii U. We can record any consoles now, like classic stuff. I've got, we have that stuff going. So
it's some exciting stuff.
Big things. We keep saying there's big things on the way.
Yeah.
Well, but this time we have
Eventually there will be big things on the way.
I don't know what that means.
Eventually we will be telling the truth.
Well.
But yeah, we've got the tech. We just need to figure out how to use it. So I know how to use it, but it's. So, anyways, Dan,
the setup.
What did you do? What have you been up to this last month in the way of video games and whatnot?
Well, MLB 16 came out, so
So that and nothing else. Cool.
Literally, other than the Doom beta, literally nothing else. But I found out that MLB 16 has custom music. It has custom. You can do custom chants and put a batter's walk-up song. You could put custom music in, which the PS4 could not do for years until a recent update.
Because now they have the media player now.
So now you can put custom finally. Because they didn't have that feature in the PS4 version. They always had it in the PS3 version. Because that's something the PS3 could do right off the bat. And it was strange to me that the PS4, they took a step back for a year or whatever. They had Spotify, but that wasn't...
The Wii could also do custom music.
Yes.
On, one game.
Well,
Two games. 2 games, actually. It could do it on Excite Truck and Excitebots. Excitebots could also do it.
Custom
and Blue Ocean, the sequel to Blue Ocean, I believe, could also do custom music.
I know you can do custom music through the photo channel.
Oh yeah, the photo channel also had.
Although with the newer update, it had to be AAC. They used to allow MP3, but you have to do.
I think AAC might be the format that the music on the F-Zero GX game disc is in, which is weird. But
AAC is used a lot.
It might have been a different format then.
I mean,
similar.
I don't know the differences that much. We can ask an audiophile, but I don't know.
This month, I also didn't really do much in the way of games. I got some new games. I can't remember what games I got earlier this month, but
I want to rant about something here in a second.
Do you wanna go ahead or?
Well, it was it's been a rough launch for MLB 16 with Sony, San Diego Studios, the ones who made it, and we're about a month in now, and there's still games freezing, and it's very frustrating that you're playing a game, and then all of a sudden, near the end of the game, it just you have these freezes and problems. They were having like it was so bad in the beginning that you couldn't get a game with anybody online. It would fail. Like sometimes, like I would be the only team that would be, or I'd be the only person. I could only do home games, and it would fail if the other person was. I don't know how their programming works, what determines who's home or away. If I have a better, I don't know, but it was so bad, and so they released digital. Like they apologized and give away, digital currency and stuff, which is fine. But I mean, it doesn't do me much good because I don't care for that.
Hey,
I'm about the leagues. I'm not about that. They call it Diamond Dynasties. It's just.
Oh yeah, I think you showed me that in the previous installation of that game.
Yeah.
Or,
the
previous.
Yeah. I won one of the challenge of the weeks.
Yeah, you got the autographed PlayStation 4 system cover.
Yep, PS4 system cover and autographed Royals hat.
Very nice.
From Eric Hosmer, which I really wanted it. Being from here, Kansas City, it's like I want it, and so I got it.
Very nice.
So it was.
Well, I participated in a game jam recently this month, or this month being April, just in case this doesn't go up until next month. But either way, I participated in Ludum Dare 35. The theme was Shapeshift. So it was a set for those of you listening that aren't familiar with Ludum Dare. It's a game jam, meaning it's a 72-hour thing where you can work with a team or you can work on your own, and you basically just try to make a game in 72 hours. Pretty simple concept. You have from like 8 p.m. Friday to 8 p.m. the Monday following that. Your other option in Ludum Dare, however, kind of what sets it apart from most other game jams, is you can also do the competition where you have 42 or 48 hours, so 8 p.m. Monday to 8 p.m. Sunday, and you have that much time to working strictly by yourself to finish your game. I didn't do that though because I'm a wuss. I did the competition, or the jam rather, which is the 72-hour variant, and worked with an animator. We got our game finished within the time limit, meaning there is technically an end, but I think it turned out pretty good. We made a little game where you have this little alien sphere type thing, and you can. It's kind of like Portal, sort of. You have like these test chambers that you try to get through by using the sphere or using your little alien buddy to navigate through the level. So there's a lot of cool stuff, like using it as a platform and using the hit buttons and stuff. I think it turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. But do plan on going back and fixing a couple of things, maybe adding to it some, because that is another thing you can do. You can update your games after the event ends. You can release updates. But yeah, fun little project. Always a good experience. Maybe one of these days I will stream a game jam of some kind on the Twitch channel, because I know that's a pretty popular thing.
Yeah, it's becoming. There's more than just people playing games now on Twitch. Mm-hmm. Like I forgot what I saw. Something they were.
Nothing more thrilling than watching someone just stare at code for 2 hours and like hear some screaming in the background, maybe.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
That's real game development, professional.
Yeah, I played that game.
Oh, the one that I made?
Yeah, I thought it was an absolute pile of shit.
Oh, well, your opinion is noted.
Well, no, I thought it was your best game yet.
There were some design errors, I feel. There's like a part near the beginning where you can bypass the first puzzle pretty easily, but we need to stream some Ludum Dare 35 games, or Ludum Dare, Ludum Dare. I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced. I've heard both, but we need to stream some of those, like do a mystery grab bag of Game Jam games. But those are always fun. Always lots of cool stuff. I played a couple of games that some people made. Some really creative ideas. I played one. It was called Antivirus, and they actually applied the theme in a very creative way, I thought. You're not shape-shifting a character in the game, but rather you have to play the game in windowed mode, and you change the shape of the game window to you like make it really big so you can see more enemies. Because it's like a tower defense type thing. You have a PC icon in the center that you're trying to defend from viruses, and so you use the WASD keys to move the game window around your desktop, and you can resize the game window using the mouse to you have to like make it as small as possible while hovering over a virus to kill it. So it's a pretty fun little tower defense type game that I thought was really creative. So some really interesting stuff. Shapeshift, I feel, was a very cool theme. It led to a lot of really creative game ideas.
Yeah.
So moving on from that,
now we have
Nintendo released their first ever smartphone app.
It's been a big month for them.
Mm-hmm. In terms we actually have a lot of Nintendo news, which are kind of going into
the title of this video is going to the big announcement.
The big NX episode or something, whatever. But Miitomo is Nintendo's new smartphone app. It's available on iPhone and Android. You can get it for free. You connect it to your Nintendo account. It's your My Nintendo account, not your Nintendo account. They've got
which is another thing I want to talk about. Their reward system, which is
the replacement for Club Nintendo,
lacking quite a bit. The rewards are like 15% off a game that is going to be on sale for less than that at some point.
I don't know. Nintendo games don't usually go on sale, but they aren't very good discounts.
Yeah, it's 15%. You got to bust your ass just to get those amount of coins.
Because you get the discount ones with the platinum coins, right?
They're both. If you want like a 30% discount, you gotta have the gold ones.
Oh, that's kind of dumb.
Which take forever to get. It's like, I'm not gonna bust my ass for 30% off.
Is it possible to get gold coins without, like, through any means other than just buying games on the eShop? Because that's the only. Okay,
you only buy them digitally, so it's like I'm never gonna buy Nintendo games digitally.
I always buy them digitally
because Nintendo games have value. Physical.
Yeah, but then you never end up opening it, and you never actually play the game.
Yes, I do. I always I've opened all my Wii U games and played.
I mean, if you want it to really retain value, then
no, it retains value just by owning it. It retains more value if it's sealed.
I have been looking for Star Fox 64 3D. It's a birthday present for a nephew of mine.
Yeah, that shit's. They don't sell it no more.
I'm finding because they do sell it digitally only.
Digitally. They stopped selling it physical, and it's going for like I think I looked, it was like $80,
something like that. I did find plenty of used copies for around $20, so $30 to $40 rather. So it's kind of rare.
Ocarina of Time was also, but then they re-released it with the Nintendo Frozen Dinner Selects.
Oh yeah, they did revive that branding.
Nintendo Selects.
It just sounds like something you would find in like the frozen dinners aisle.
It looks like it's ugly boxing to me, but or ugly design.
Well, anyways, Miitomo came out, you haven't really been able to play it much since you basically have an Android phone that's dedicated entirely to it, and it's
it's dedicated to it, and it's also dedicated to a weather app I use for looking at tornado, like storm velocity in a storm, because I chase storms, which is, people call me crazy, but you know.
Well, that's because you are.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's
intervention.
People missing out.
So, anyways, for those who don't know, Miitomo is a social networking style app, kind of in the vein of not really Facebook, but more like something like Foursquare. Just like kind of a quick, limited use social network app. It's based kind of around Tomodachi Life, which is a Nintendo game on the 3DS, which is focused around using your Mii characters to do various activities, kind of like a virtual dollhouse type thing, I guess. And the main draw of it is they speak everything through text to speech,
which is the novelty of it to me. I mean,
So Miitomo basically takes that whole like idea of text to speech and it is based. It's designed primarily around that.
And they will say shit. They will say fuck. They
do. There is no language filter.
I love it
at all. They do not know how to say meme, though. I've noticed a lot of people trying to say meme, and it just says mem.
:3. :3. I can't even do the voice.
We should have done the introductions for this episode. Text to speech Miitomo voices. But
yeah. Geez.
Anyways, it's a fun little app. If you have a lot of friends that are using it, mainly, you know, because you can only establish friends from your Facebook friends list, your Twitter followers list, or by physically sitting next to somebody and then pressing a matching symbol on the screen. Very weird system. You can also add mutual friends, though. So if, like, Dan added me, and so then he was able to add all of his friends from my friends list as well.
Yeah, I only add people I know, though, because it's not interesting if I don't know who the hell that is.
Yeah. The way it works is it basically asks you a bunch of questions, answer them. It's simple questions like, what's your favorite food? What were you doing last weekend?
Some people are complaining that it was intrusive, but it's like, then don't answer the question.
That's true. You can press the skip button to not answer a question.
Just don't answer the questions or don't use the app if you're that concerned about it.
Yeah.
There's plenty of questions that are not intrusive.
The way it works basically is you answer questions and then you listen to your friends you listen to your friends' answers to random questions, and and then you can also comment on your friends' answers as well. And
they all read it off. They all read in their text.
When you look through a comment section, it reads through everything in text to speech for.
And everyone has their different voices because you can change your voice.
It's pretty great,
like,
and
it's very customizable.
But like if you when you do by commenting and listening to answers and answering questions yourself, it actually you earn Miitomo coins by doing that. And you can spend those coins in Miitomo on like new outfits and stuff. I think, are those the same coins that you spend? No, they're not.
No, I don't know. So, I've barely been paying attention to it.
You earn Miitomo coins by answering questions and listening to answers and commenting as well. And then by doing stuff like getting however many likes in one day, or by getting however many comments in one day, stuff like that, you earn My Nintendo coins, which you can then use to get rewards like the Twilight Princess Cross 3DS game and 3DS themes, stuff like that. So far, though, their selection's kind of limited. They have some Miitomo outfits you can get too, but
if you thought Club Nintendo is bad, that puts it to shame. Like, they do have digital games on there. Like full digital games, right?
Yeah. On my Nintendo. They have... You can get Twilight Princess Picross.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought they had like...
The...
actual full games?
With gold coins, you can get...
Or was that just percentage off?
No, they do have some full games. I know for 60 gold coins, which means you have to buy a $70 game on the eShop to get 60, which I don't even think there's anything on the eShop that costs $70. But with 60 gold coins, you can get Super Mario 64 right now, which I guess kind of makes sense as like their introductory thing. I imagine it's probably going to change each month, like what free game they've got available on there. But
they got free. Wait, what?
Yeah, I don't know what else. I think there's a couple of 3DS games that are free right now, like Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, I think. Or no, it's the Wii version on that. You can get it on the Wii U.
Wait, they're free?
Well, not free. You get it with the gold coins.
Yeah, like they would not. No, Nintendo would never do that.
So, Miitomo is a lot of fun. It's kind of their introduction to their new reward system. What I find interesting, though, is you earn those platinum coins in Miitomo. You're also going to earn those platinum coins in Pokemon Go as well. And then also, in addition to that, presumably, you're also going to be earning those platinum coins in their Animal Crossing and Fire Emblem phone games that they currently have in development. That was announced today, actually, I think.
Yesterday,
yeah. Nintendo announced that they are working on mobile phone games for Animal Crossing and Fire Emblem, which I think is kind of interesting. I feel like Animal Crossing would lend itself really well to the mobile phone platform, especially with stuff like Happy Home Designer on the 3DS. I feel like a game following in that vein would work really well.
Another thing about Miitomo, like I started off like the first week or two, everyone was using it, and now I feel like half my friends list is just not on it anymore.
Yeah,
because the novelty wore off, I guess.
Well, I feel like the thing is, if everyone on your friends list is answering the questions like completely honestly, and they aren't like putting any creative thought into it, it is going to get boring. But if there's like 2 or 3 people on your friends list who like always do silly answers for everything, or at least sometimes, then it's still interesting. Just because you get to hear those ridiculous responses, text.
Because I like honest answers because it's just I'm curious because you learn something about people that you didn't know.
And I must learn everything about you.
I mean, you answer everything. Like I don't even know where you come up with this shit. But some people, I mean, if you just have one-word answers, it's going to be boring. But it just depends, really. So sometimes I answer it like a smart ass, or like something silly. Sometimes I'll answer it honestly. Just depends. Keep things. It's whatever I'm feeling. I don't know, but I'm not on there too. I'd probably be using it more if I had it on my Windows phone, but of course that'll never happen.
Right.
Along with a lot of other things.
I do find it interesting, though, that they are planning on bringing Fire Emblem to the mobile platform. Though there are games similar, kind of, that are already on the mobile platform, stuff like Clash of Clans and stuff. I feel like that's probably going to be what the inspiration for that is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Hard to really...
Those games would work on mobile.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like with a traditional Fire Emblem game, it's
turn-based.
It's a turn-based strategy game.
So the touch screen isn't going to be a problem.
Touchscreens, the control input's not the problem. I just feel like the overall scope of the game of a traditional Fire Emblem game is going to be too big for mobile devices. But
I mean, it's on
if you have an adversarial, well, the thing is, if it works on a 3DS, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work on mobile phones as well. I feel like
nothing's going to work on a mobile phone as well.
I feel like...
Depends.
It depends.
No, I mean, if something like Angry Birds worked great.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was originally
or Cut the Rope. Yeah, the games that are made for the touchscreen and actually use it. Games, but when you try to do Street Fighter on mobile phone, it does not work. Period.
Right. But like stuff like Fire Emblem, for example, the control input's perfectly fine. There's no control issues. But I feel like the scope of a traditional Fire Emblem game's story and the way that all of its mechanics and character dialogue works, it's just too big a scope for a mobile game. What I see a mobile Fire Emblem game being is a 1v1 online multiplayer adversarial duel game with small-scale battles similar to some mobile game that I got through a Humble Bundle forever ago that I swear I cannot remember the name of. But I think it's going to be a very simplified, multiplayer-centric Fire Emblem game that you'll be able to win you'll be able to win My Nintendo Platinum coins in by winning however many matches in a row or something. That's
I'm
my
just
prediction.
Interested to see if they're ever going to make another handheld console again. Is this the transition here?
I think they will, but that's because if you look at sales figures, every time someone's tried to compete with them in the handheld market, they have completely trounced them entirely.
Well, the thing is, it's shrinking overall. Like no one's going to buy. Like at some point, the way things are going, it seems to me that everything's going to phones.
Yeah,
but I see that as a really bad thing because I don't want a game on my phone. If I get a phone call in the middle of it, it's going to fuck up my game. And if I get all these other texts and bloops on my phone, it's like, I want to play this damn game, okay?
That's why, I feel like that's why something like Fire Emblem wouldn't really work too well on a phone, just because of how involved the story is. You're always getting, text messages and phone calls on your phone or email notifications.
Yeah, and the other thing is all phones are different, and they're all it's like computers. You got different...
Well, all Android and Windows phones are... Can't really say the same thing about iPhones.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
unified.
Mobile in general, everyone's on a different...
Yeah.
They got different specs. And that's going to create an unlevel playing field if you have any online crap, which is the problem with PC, because that's a whole... I think we already went over that. But, and I mean... are they going to make something that's...
there's been some rumors flying around. Supposedly the NX is supposed to be like this marrying of the portable and console markets.
Yeah, it's probably going to be the NX. So we're shifting to the NX topic now.
Speaking of the NX, that incredibly smooth segue. It
was announced... March 2017.
Yes.
The NX officially will be released with Zelda NX. The one that was coming to the Wii U is going to be released alongside it in March 2017, and so that pushes the Wii U version back to March 2017. So it's been delayed about 4 times now.
We get to so it's. We get the February 2017, and they say, please understand, Nintendo NX and Zelda have been delayed until January 2018.
And nothing comes out on Wii U. It was like, is there anything else coming out on Wii U?
I did see a funny meme image online today. It's called "Good Guy Nintendo," and it said, "Knows you have a huge backlog of games, doesn't release anything in 2016.
They've released Star Fox, okay. So
yes,
there's
which
that,
we will be talking about.
Which has gotten very mixed reviews.
And I will be providing my thoughts on it. But the NX, still no idea what to think about it. The controller, the leaked controller image that we discussed, was admitted to be fake. The guy that made the controller posted a video online showing how he made it, and interesting stuff there. But yeah, Still no details.
No juicy deets.
Apart from a couple of tweets that I have shared on previous episodes of the show, one that stood out to me was someone saying that it'll work with the PlayStation 4. I still have no idea what that's supposed to imply.
I don't know. That seems like crazy stuff because they said this is going to be something you've never seen before. So
yeah,
there's nothing like it apparently.
So it's going to be like an Xbox, like what everyone wants.
Oh yeah, everyone's rushing out to get those Xboxes. Totally. Well, more so than the Wii U. I mean, the Wii U.
I go onto internet forums and I see people screaming, "No, Nintendo needs to make their next console just be like every other console. I just want to pick up a controller and play Call of Duty." But I disagree with that idea. Just to make a console as generic as possible. For Nintendo, that just does not seem like their design philosophy.
Well, I mean, they did that in the past.
It's why I like
Wii.
It's why I like their consoles.
I mean, they've always made generic consoles.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's why I like the Wii. It's why I like the Wii U.
The thing is,
it provides a more unique playing experience.
Okay, the thing is, I didn't like the Wii very much because the hardware was so bad, so behind, that it held back a lot of the games that was on it, and it kept third parties from going on it. Same thing with the Wii U. They screwed themselves over. Well, here's the thing:
there were a lot of rumors regarding EA's running away because if you recall last year, they actually did release they made a big marketing fuss over how you could play the new FIFA on the Wii U, but they actually just released it on the Wii.
It's just, like, if
they apparently had some big scuffle with Nintendo over being able to have complete control over the online functions of the Wii U, and Nintendo's response was, "What are you talking about? No." And EA apparently pulled all of their support from the console.
Well, I mean, everyone pretty much pulled their support.
Whether that is actually true or not, nobody really knows.
Well, the big picture here is Nintendo shot themselves in the foot with third-party developers.
Well, they've been trying to kind of make up for that with indie developers.
Yeah, but I mean, that's not going to get
that's not
to their console. Mm-hmm. They need the big AAA developers.
If you're a big fan of indie games, then the Wii U is definitely a must-have platform. If you're into indie games, because they have so much support for independent developers on the Wii U. There are so many indie games that have come to the Wii U, and I can say from experience that the actual process of porting a Unity game from, say, PC to Wii U is not really that difficult.
You better get on it before time's
too late.
The Wii U is dead, pretty much.
God, until March. Screw you.
You got 11 months, but with the Wii U, it's pretty much.
There are some rumors saying that it's going to end production in 2018, but again, those are rumors, and they did say they want the Wii U to coexist alongside the NX.
I mean, they say that all the time. Yeah. It'll coexist for a few months, and then bye-bye.
So we'll see what happens.
It will even last less longer than GameCube, probably, because more people had a GameCube.
I'm interested to see what'll happen, but
this is their poorest selling console of all time, next to the Virtual Boy. So we thought this Wii U would pick up. We kept telling ourselves it would pick up. It didn't happen. It's still hovering around 10 million. 12 million.
Well, when Splatoon came out, it saw a huge boost, and when Mario Kart 8 came out, it saw a huge boost, and when Smash came out, it saw a huge boost.
It didn't really get a huge boost because it still hovered around. I've looked at it, it hasn't changed for a year almost, it seems like.
Right.
So I
don't really pay too close attention to sales figures since they don't really affect.
I mean, the PS4 is mopping the floor with everybody.
Well, the PS4 also has a lot of really good games on it, and but I want to talk about the latest huge big title on the Wii U.
Well, hang on, because we have to talk. I got to talk about Zelda here.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
the big thing. This is the bigger than anything else right now.
Zelda got delayed again.
So yeah, they're delaying the Wii U version to March. So
now I feel like this doesn't necessarily mean we just need more time to make the NX version. I feel like they're probably taking time to refine more features and to do the NX port and to make sure that's working properly. I feel like I'd rather have it's Miyamoto saying a delayed game is a working game, but a rushed game is not great or something. I don't remember what the exact wording there is, but
or he said a rush game is bad forever. Delayed is, well, the thing is you can't keep delaying it forever and ever, because you look what you got, so many people pissed off right now. It's not a pretty sight on a lot of the internet right now, because a lot of people bought the Wii U hoping to get that like this year at least, with hoping to get it last year.
Right.
And that was the main reason they bought a Wii U, was for that game, and now it's Twilight Princess all over again. This time, I mean, they're going to get an inferior product version of it, possibly.
Doesn't necessarily mean that, because if you look at the GameCube and the Wii, they had similar hardware specifications. Now, I feel like...
I would hope the NX version is like 1080p,
Here's the thing.
Everything.
Here's the thing. We don't even know anything about the NX. We don't know what its control inputs are going to be. We don't know anything. We don't know what different gameplay possibilities are going to be possible on the NX version. So it's hard to say what the differences in the two versions are going to be when we don't know anything about one of those two platforms.
I'm assuming the NX version is going to be superior. It has to be.
Well, look at the...
I would hope
Look at the GameCube and the Wii.
Yeah, but the Wii was the same specs. They're not going to make the NX the same specs as the Wii U. That would be the nail in the coffin for them. It'll be
a technologically superior version of the game, but it'll also be completely mirrored.
Yeah, the rumors were saying it's more powerful than a PS4. I would hope so, and it's going to be like $400.
It's an interesting idea.
That's expensive for a Nintendo console.
Mm-hmm. Well, the N64 I think was also a pretty expensive console.
They set themselves back ever since the Wii. They've,
because they're trying. I think they're trying to reduce on costs or something. But I feel like
they built that around the motion control.
Based on what we've heard of the NX, it sounds like they are trying to. Because keep in mind, with Nintendo, they're not just looking at hardware power; they're also looking at how they can make a system that's fun for people to make games for. They want to, bring a unique experience to the table, which can secure them more exclusives. It's kind of what their goal was with the Wii U, with the tablet controller. There's not really any systems out there that can do that natively. Now, of course, you have with the Xbox, you have what's it called, Smart Glass, I think. I don't think they have that anymore, actually. But every game now has its own second screen app, and so that kind of
but no one
almost
makes that.
Second screen apps almost make the Wii U gamepad either obsolete, or the gamepad makes second screen apps a completely useless feature for a lot of games.
I don't know anybody that uses second screen apps.
Well, I did use the second screen app for Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes when that came out.
Nobody uses it, basically.
But here's the thing.
Other than people like you. People, I don't use it. I don't touch it because it's a pain in the ass. I don't want to use my phone for something. I'd rather have it built into the controller. I'd rather have it... If it's that, it works.
Yeah, here's the thing. Here's what I'm saying, though. If you look at another console, let's say we compare let's say the Wii U version of Watch Dogs to the PlayStation 3 version of Watch Dogs. Bad example, I know, but whatever. You have their second screen app, which can be used as kind of like a map. But if you look at the Wii U gamepad screen while you're playing the Wii U version, you've got the map there. You can place waypoints by tapping the screen. It's incredibly useful. and it just removes the need for a second screen app, which should give that version of the game kind of like a leg up on the competition. But if you compare that to like the PlayStation 3 version, graphically it looks the same. It's the same exact game in every way, except you don't have the screen of the controller, so you can just use your phone app to do all that instead. It just nullifies that one big selling point.
I think the NX is going to have a screen on the controller.
That way they can have that Wii U backwards compatibility. That way,
and it's going to be a better screen because I thought the Wii U, the tablet screen, it felt cheap. It looked cheap because it would stream to the controller, and I could see that there was some. It didn't look that great. Like the screen itself, it felt like it was a really warm color.
I don't know.
It looked nasty to me. I didn't like it. Like the 3DS screen, even though it's really low res, it's extremely high quality. It is very pretty to look at in 3D. Like it's a very nice screen, and the colors pop out. Mm. But when you turn off the 3D, it looks muddled and kind of nasty. It
does, yeah.
But when you pop that 3D on, it looks incredible.
Pop it in a 3D. We're moving on to the next topic here. I do want to talk a little bit about Star Fox Zero. It came out very recently on the Wii U. It's basically a remake of Star Fox 64, kind of. There were a couple of things that bugged me about the way the gameplay, like the way the story is paced. But I want to talk about the gameplay itself first. This plays very similarly to Star Fox 64. It's an on-rails sci-fi. The gameplay is almost identical.
This is the same shit,
but
Jeff. It's the same shit they've been releasing every year for the last 20 years.
I think they've been releasing a Star Fox
game.
No,
they haven't released one. Like
years.
One of my friends said it was like the same shit. But it's like, that was 11 years ago, the last Star Fox game we had.
Well,
or besides the DS version.
Well, anyways, the gameplay here is very similar, except what they've done now is, in addition to flying your R-Wing around on the screen and shooting and stuff, the gamepad screen, you can look at it for like a first-person cockpit view, and you can actually move it around to aim independently of that. So you basically, it's like a twin or a dual aiming thing type thing. It's like a twin stick, twin screen shooter, I think is how Polygon's review stated, which I think is a pretty accurate thing. The gamepad screen functionality just feels like it adds a lot more to the core gameplay of what Star Fox gameplay is, which I think is really cool. Mm. But I will say it does take a lot of getting used to.
Which is not very Nintendo-like.
It is very much like...
so it's unintuitive.
Well, Platinum Games is the developer that made this, and Wonderful 101 was also a very hard game to get into controls-wise, or mechanics-wise.
I mean, Miitomo is still behind it.
So here's the thing with Star Fox Zero, this whole, learning when to look at the gamepad screen and when to look at the TV and being able to manage switching tunes to, it took me an entire playthrough of the main story, which, to be honest, isn't really that long. It took me my entire first playthrough of the main story to actually get used to that. And moving on to the main story, the way that works now in Star Fox 64, you had all those branching paths, and those are back here, kind of. They're handled a little bit differently than what you'd expect. In your first playthrough, it's a completely set path. There's no branching. It's impossible to take any of the alternate exits on your first playthrough.
What? Strange.
So after you've completed your first... Because the way this works is as you complete certain levels in the story, you unlock additional functions for the vehicles. So, eventually... after the... when you get to the second level or something, you can then... Or on the third level, you can transform the R-Wing into a walker. and you can do that to access when you go back to the first level. You can access a secret. You can access like the secret exit by doing that. And I'll get to the walker in a moment. But after you've beaten the story once, you can go back and you can play it again. But I was a little disappointed with how they handle it. You just like select levels you want to play, and then you can just like replay select levels at a time. However, there is an arcade mode which plays much more similarly to how Star Fox 64 plays. So, that is actually like, you start on Corneria and then you have all the branching paths and
same shit.
So the way if you lose your lives, then if you lose all your lives, then it kicks you out and you lose. But that's arcade mode, and I need to play it some more because it is a lot of fun. But the thing is, the branching paths just don't feel like they're as different as they were in Star Fox 64. Like, for example, in Star Fox 64, there was a level where you would meet Bill, I think.
Bill!
He's like a dog, and he flies a fighter jet or something.
Bill.
So anyways, it was the Independence Day level where there's like the giant UFO, and it's going to zap the pyramid base or whatever.
That's my favorite level.
It's a great level.
Independence Day.
And so, if you successfully, because there's like two outcomes to that level. The non-secret ending to that level is that you don't destroy the UFO in time, and it destroys the pyramid base, and then the level ends. But if you do manage to destroy the UFO in time, then Bill thanks you, and he actually shows up in a later level, and he's like, "Hey, Fox, I'm paying you back for that favor you did for me on Titania or whatever." So, in Star Fox Zero, I'm on Zonus, and it's like you fly the gyro wing in Zonus, which is like the new vehicle they've introduced, and it's like a helicopter, and you can like lower a little droid. It's kind of like a stealth vehicle type thing. I don't know how to really describe it, but you rescue Kat, who is another character from Star Fox 64. You rescue her in this, and in this mission. I think it's an optional kind of thing. Maybe not. I don't know. But if you rescue her, I rescue her, and she shows up in the next level, or in a later level, and I'm like, hey, she came back, and I thought it was really weird. As she shows up, she's like, hey guys, and then Fox MacLeod's like, we are Star Fox. Identify yourself. I'm like, well, Fox, you just saved this person like 3 levels ago. What are you talking about? So it just seems like there's not as much consistency between levels.
Would you say the reviews are fair?
I think so.
It has a 71.
I haven't read too many reviews, but I feel like mixed opinions on this game.
Like that's really bad review for a Nintendo game.
Well, maybe for a Nintendo game, but
for Nintendo games, 71 is pretty bad for something
like Platinum Games, based on what they've done recently, which I think they've also been getting 71s on all their recent stuff.
Did you say there's enough content for a $60 purchase? Because I think that's like a big.
Well, here's the thing: I bought it digitally, so I actually paid $50 for it, which does make quite a difference for me.
But did you not get the thing with it?
If you buy it digitally, Star Fox Guard on the eShop costs $15 normally. If you buy Star Fox Zero digitally, you get Star Fox Zero for $50, and then you can get a $5 discount on Star Fox Guard.
So it's just $5 cheaper.
It'll bring it up to $60 total. So it's the same price if you buy them both. That said, I have not tried Star Fox Guard's demo yet, and I don't have Star Fox Guard either, so I haven't tried that. I've heard it's really, really good. But,
I guess for $60, if Guard is good, I think it would be worth it.
But again, I haven't played that, so this.
I haven't played anything, so I don't know.
This is based off of me playing Star Fox Zero on its own for $50. And I feel like the arcade mode definitely does allow for a lot of replay value, but it did not take me very long to discover all of the levels in the game. That's mainly because of being able to go to specific levels just so you can play them over and over again to find the secret exit. And a lot of the levels don't really take that long to complete either.
There's no multiplayer, right?
There is multiplayer. It's cooperative multiplayer, and one player uses the game.
Oh, yeah, that.
But actually, I like the way I haven't had a chance to try it, but I do like the way they've handled it. One player aims at the gamepad.
Well, we could stream it.
The other player plays on the TV with a controller, a normal controller, and they actually have normal Star Fox controls. Because normally when you're playing, your aiming reticle on the TV will move based on the direction you're pointing the gamepad. But if you're doing co-op mode, all you see is your normal aiming reticle, and it's just like playing a normal Star Fox game, except there's also just lasers shooting out in every direction from your R-wing.
That would be a more realistic way to actually fly one of those things than to just have... You have to turn the whole frickin' R-wing just to shoot a direction, and you have actual a turret on there in front of it.
They did do an anime short film type thing for Star Fox Zero. Yeah. And
which reminds me, there's also an anime of Ace Attorney.
Oh yeah, that did happen.
We need to watch that. I want to see that.
But with the Star Fox Zero anime, they actually do explain all of the pilots have a little visor on that they use. They look around and aim with that. Is the explanation in the anime? But yeah, I feel like the story just there's apparently supposed to be some weird undertone, General Pepper is actually the villain and he's doing all this shady stuff, but I never got any of that. That was kind of hinted at in the anime at the very end. I'm I want to see more of this story, but that's not in the game at all.
No, that's too complex.
In fact, a lot of the game
story for them.
A lot of the game is actually just straight up Star Fox 64 and Star Fox memes, and it's great. I like it. But
then you get the argument of it's too much the same.
Mm-hmm. And it is a lot of it is the same.
The first level looked exactly the same.
I can say the first level's layout it looks similar visually, but the actual layout is...
Well, even the layout looks similar, too. They have the same shit going on.
I'm going to say right now, I've played through that first level a lot of times, and the layout of that level is nowhere near the same. But
it's not like it's...
It is still Corneria City, though. One thing I do want to say, though, that I think is very interesting. Like I said earlier, the R-Wing has a walker mode, and it's actually inspired. They said this during E3. It's inspired by a feature from the canceled Star Fox 2 game, which was going to be on the Super Nintendo. It was going to be a direct sequel to Star Fox, and it was going to have kind of like an XCOM style of progression instead of choosing one of the three paths. You had this galaxy map of the Lilat system, and you would move freely about it, and you had go to these planets and liberate them. And going to a planet or going to a missile, for example, because there's all of these battleships and they're launching these missiles at Corneria, and if a missile hits Corneria, it loses health, and if Corneria reaches 0% health, then you lose. So, you intercept these missiles, and the thing is, all of the missions, they're in all range mode, which, is a feature that would be introduced in Star Fox 64. So, they also introduced the ability to transform your R-Wing into a walker, which you could use to, walk inside of these facilities, and they had these cool, little platforming puzzles where you had to, switch between the R-Wing and walker modes to, jump across platforms. So that's all here in Star Fox Zero, which is awesome. And in fact, if you tap the Fox amiibo to your gamepad, or if you just get all 70 medals, because they do have a collectible thing, hidden collectibles in each level, which are very difficult to find, if you you can use the SNES style R-Wing instead of the normal model. And the difference between it gameplay-wise is that it, when you charge a shot, it doesn't lock on to anything, but it functions as a bomb. So, but what's really interesting about this is if you're in the Corneria, the first level of the game, Corneria, instead of playing the normal Corneria music, it plays the Super Nintendo Corneria music. And when you transform into Walker mode, it actually uses the model from Star Fox 2, which I thought was a really cool touch.
Oh.
We need to stream Star Fox 2 sometime.
We can do it now because we've got...
you'd have to play it on a PC through an emulator, so we already could. But it's a really interesting game. I like it a lot.
Well, no, it would have... The emulator would not have been able to... First off, just to get the emulator working, just, like, you can't even do that yet, really.
Really? We did Clock Tower perfectly fine.
Star Fox Zero?
No, Star Fox 2.
Oh, I'm talking Star Fox Zero. Like, there's no way you're going to emulate that. There's no way in hell you're going to be able to stream that on the same computer you're emulating it. There's no way.
Anyways, but yeah, Star Fox 2 had there's a lot of Star Fox 2 stuff in Star Fox Zero, which I think is really cool, and that excites me a lot. I'd love to see Nintendo release Star Fox 2 on the eShop someday. Probably never going to happen. But the thing that's really interesting about it is it's near complete, and it's like one of the very rare instances of a unreleased Nintendo game actually being leaked in full playable form.
I'm sure someone's got it on a cartridge, playable on SNES.
Yeah.
And we can stream it from that SNES.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Do it in the true fucking way.
Just find a Super Nintendo development kit and we'll be on our way. But,
do we need that for that?
Probably not.
No, because I don't think... I think there is...
There are anti-piracy measures actually built into the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, but I'm sure... I've seen people play stuff before.
So, moving on, Dark Souls 3 also came out recently. I've been playing a lot of that. Don't really have as much to say about it, but because I'm still playing through it. But it is still a very difficult game. I would say if you were to rank these games in order of difficulty, Dark Souls 2 is still the easiest of all of them, which is why I chose it to play on the arcade machine that I have. It's still very difficult, but Dark Souls 3 is pretty fun so far. They have a new method of summoning in Dark Souls 3. It's a because previously in Dark Souls games, you could there were white summon signs for co-op players, which were friendly co-op players that you could summon for help. There were yellow summon signs, which would be co-op players who were part of the game's cooperative group of players, and then you also had red summon signs, which are players who you could summon to fight for PvP purposes. So now we have purple summon signs, which are summon signs that indicate basically that the player is in the Chaos clan or whatever. So basically, when you summon a Chaos player, they are going to be cooperative, probably, to you. But friendly fire is on for them. So they can kill you and you can kill them. So I was talking to a friend of ours. He told me that, he told us that he summoned a purple phantom into his game, and this person guided him around the level for like 2 hours, showing him shortcuts, glitches, hidden treasure. They killed a boss together, and they were having a blast. So they kill a boss, then the person turns around and stabs him in the back and kills him. He said he never felt so betrayed in his entire life.
Well, I would... if that's the worst it's gotten for you, being betrayed, then you must have a pretty good life.
in Dark Souls, at least. But But yeah, Dark Souls 3 is pretty great so far. A lot of fun online interactions still. It's kind of been the highlight of Dark Souls games for me. So, definitely recommend it.
To Rocket League.
Mm-hmm.
They got basketball now.
Yeah.
Which I haven't touched yet.
Hoops mode is what it's called. So basically it's like your standard Rocket League gameplay, except now instead of the goals basically are large hoops that are slightly off the ground, and there's a lot of aerial gameplay involved now because you're trying to spike the ball from the air into the other player's goal. It's like the main strategy to apply there. It is pretty difficult to get used to, in my opinion, but it is fun. I enjoy it a lot.
Is it ranked?
No.
That's dumb.
They're only doing unranked for it right now, similar to their
hockey.
Similar to hockey. However, I will say...
Is there like 50,000 people that drop in and out all the time?
Haven't had any of that.
The one time I did hockey, there's like 50,000 people dropping in and out.
Didn't have that experience. That's kind of what I was expecting, and I was pleasantly surprised that that was not the experience.
Maybe it was just some bad thing going on, and
maybe
I didn't do it again after that.
Something that will affect you if you're only doing ranked stuff. They did change the ball physics so that they are more realistic.
Huh?
So
that's going to change everything. That changes everything.
They had a GIF, an animated GIF on their Facebook page where they showed like the ball wasn't bouncing off of walls in some arenas correctly, and then they also changed the physics for the Wasteland Arena as well, so that it actually works realistically now. So I need to play some more ranked matches.
When you change the physics, you change the game, like that.
So that's
certain
pretty
like
exciting
things
stuff.
that you have to set up, like you have like custom, or you come up with like a strategy. You're gonna have to adjust it.
Yeah, and hey, they got new hats.
Oh boy!
So if you're a big fan of Worms or The Witcher, they've got new stuff.
There you go.
So
and the next topic,
something I think I don't really know much about this. You watched the trailer.
I didn't know until now. Well, I watched the teaser thing that I did post on our channel.
So what is, because I didn't have a chance to watch that either. What is this?
That was like, it was a parody of the ending of The Force Awakens. It was Adrian Carmack. He had like a keyboard and mouse in his hand, and John Romero, they're like in Ireland, so it's like vistas of shit.
Right.
And, John Romero's in like a cloak, like facing a different direction, and then Adrian Carmack sticks his hand out. It's just The Force Awakens ending, and then John Romero turns around in dramatic fashion, and I mean it's really poorly acted, but
it's pretty great. It's
what do you expect from game designers? But
game designers like
Adrian Carmack
act.
Adrian Carmack has pretty much been in the shadows, like, for a long time. It's like the first time I've seen him.
I thought he was a shadow.
Yeah. He was the guy that did the art for Doom.
Right.
Wolfenstein and all that stuff. So he is one of the most prominent, he did the art, and John Romero was like a game designer. It was John Romero, Adrian Carmack, John Carmack, no relation. So you had two Johns, two Carmacks, and one Romero. Or John Romero, John Carmack, Adrian Carmack. It's so confusing. Right. Plus, I think Tom Hall. But he dropped out in the middle of Doom production, I think.
So what is this new game that
this new thing is basically they're making a new FPS that is going to play very much like the old FPSs back in the day.
So we can't look up and down.
No, you can. No. Well, I mean, old school, like Quake, you could look up. That's old school FPS. Mm. So we're talking like Quake.
I thought we were talking like Wolfenstein and Super Noah's Ark 3D.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's got modern graphics. So I don't know much about it because they haven't. This is as of like a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
There's only really concept art right now.
So now, is this?
It's called.
Is this going to be on Kickstarter? Or?
It is on. It's on Kickstarter right now. They have a $700,000 goal.
Okay.
And they've raised $122,000 already. 29 days to go. They're going to hit it probably.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm interested to see if they can make a good game, because John Romero, when he broke off from id Software, mm-hmm. and he made, Daikatana, and that was a disaster. Oh, and he was hyping that up like John Romero's going to own your ass or something.
It's like magazine ads that just said John Romero's about to make you his bitch. And
like, no, you're the bitch.
No, like, they don't even advertise the name of the game. It's just John Romero's about to make you his bitch with no context, no platforms, nothing.
Yeah, it was an ambitious game from what I've seen, and everyone says it's ambitious, but it was just sloppy execution. Mm-hmm. It wasn't finished. It was buggy. It was all that stuff. But I haven't played it. But John Carmack. He's doing these days. He's doing Oculus Rift. He's the prominent force behind that. But this is just Adrian Carmack and John Romero, which and they've got their own studio now. So it's called Nightwork Games USA LLC, mm-hmm. It's a subsidiary of Romero Games. Okay.
Right. Well, while we're on the topic of Kickstarters, I do want to mention Dark Souls, the board game, is actually on Kickstarter now, from Steamforged Games.
So you can die in real life.
Yes, and it's actually pretty surprising. They had a I don't know what their goal was or they had a 50,000 pound goal, European pounds, which translates to roughly $70,832 according to Kickstarter. They met their funding goal in 3 minutes.
It was only 70,000.
They've got 18 days left to go, and they are now at in U.S. dollars. They are at $2,369,286.
So they're going to take all that excess money?
They get all the excess money. They what a lot of Kickstarter projects do is they have stretch goals, and that means like if we make however much over the our originally listed funding goal, then we will do this and this and this. So, like for example, at 240,000 pounds, they add new encounter cards, or at 260,000 pounds, they add the deprived class as a player character, and so on. So they've met just about all of their stretch goals, and the thing that's really appealing for this is when you, because they have like a million stretch goals here, and the way they have this set up is if you pre-order it on Kickstarter for $113, you get the game in all of the stretch goals. Which is a lot of stuff, because all these stretch goals are expansions that come with new miniatures, and there are a lot of them so far. So that's pretty exciting stuff. I'm thinking I'm probably going to end up doing this, because they have a lot of stretch goals they've met, and exciting stuff.
Mm-hmm. One last thing.
On the John Romero thing, or
it'll just be interesting to see how good it's going to be, because these are some old time developers.
They haven't really done or made any video games recently.
Romero has. He's been a part of a lot of more smaller mobile stuff.
Oh, okay.
Apparently. Well, yeah. I don't know for sure, but
Was he involved in any capacity in the recent Doom game?
No, none of them were.
The new one that's coming.
The new one is none of the founders have any. They're all gone now because John Carmack left in like 2012.
Right.
And around 2011 is when they completely scrapped their first Doom 4 idea, which was just, they said it was like Call of Duty. So they scrapped it. They had, all the cinematics were done too, and they looked super high quality, but it looked super generic, and I'm glad they scrapped it and went back, trying to go back to the roots. Oh, there's some bitching that it's not fast enough already because...
Oh, it seemed pretty fast to me when I played.
Well, it is, but it's not as fast as the old school ones because they made it for console.
Oh, yeah.
And trying to be super duper fast and being super precise with a console controller.
Maybe the PC version will have options for that, but
doubtful it's going to be the same thing. But it got hammered. The beta got hammered on Steam.
They did say that it's going to have a lot of modding tools available for the PC version, so you never know.
I mean, there's a creator for all of them. They're the Doom map creator that they're making. That gets like super detailed.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do. Like I think they said you can even make new game modes with it.
So, but the thing is, I'm in it for mostly the single player.
Got to get immersed in that deep story of Doom.
Well, it's an interesting premise because I mean it's Mars and
Space Marines killing demons on Mars.
Hell is in Mars, so don't go to Mars.
Well, we got to colonize Mars. Screw the moon.
Well, the thing is, the original Doom story was kind of left like they would kind of describe stuff between acts, so it left a lot to the imagination. And like all those old games did that.
That's what I really like about a lot of those older games.
Yeah, because it was kind of vague, and it was like
Descent though that had a lot of story in it that kind of tied into.
But it still was vague, and like
it was still pretty vague. Yeah, Descent 3 was not vague.
Unassuming.
Descent 3 just like actually tied everything together and just explained everything.
But kind of like when something's not totally explained though. And the thing is with Doom, there's hell, but there's no real devil, like the devil. Like
you meet John Carmack in the final boss. Or is it John? No, I don't remember.
John Romero, the icon of it just leaves because you don't know what the hell. Well, I don't want to talk too much about the story, but it's whatever. But I'm interested to see how.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. So Rock Band 4, they announced their they kind of announced their roadmap for what's coming soon. At PAX East, I think. They've got some pretty cool stuff on the way. I was actually they posted an image on their website recently, and I'm trying to find it, but it's pretty exciting stuff. They've actually announced that they are going to be doing they're going to be doing an expansion, which they said is going to have new game modes and stuff. A paid expansion coming sometime in the fall, I think. So that's pretty cool. And then I think this month they've added set lists back into the game, which was in every other game, so got that back.
Still waiting on the AC/DC pack.
Yeah, still waiting on that on PlayStation 4. Get on it, Harmonix, if you're listening to this. So anyways, I'm looking at the roadmap now. In May, they're adding some characters from Bethesda's game Battleborn that you can play as. This is random. Well, so was the Fallout 4 promotion. They're also adding the ability to use double kick pedals on drums. And I will say I actually do have 2 kick pedals now. They said that you can just plug a second kick pedal into the back of the drum kit and use it for songs with a lot of kick pedals.
Is it ever going to fix the drum input lag problem?
That, I think, is a hardware issue on my end. But and then in June, they are adding...
It's a pretty big issue because you got millions of people that are... Or not millions, but hundreds of thousands of people that are...
Well, in June, we've got practice mode coming. Lag. Practice mode in June. And then they are in the fall. They're going to be releasing their expansion pack. And they're going to be adding new filtering options for the music library list. And I think they're also saying they're going to be releasing an adapter for the Ion drum kit that they released for Rock Band 3, which is pretty cool, for Xbox One. And then the biggest announcement out of all of this that everyone's getting really excited about, this holiday season, they're going to update the game. It's going to have synchronous online multiplayer.
Finally.
So, about time.
I was curious if people are going to... Sales are going to pick up, or because that game's been out for a while. They
said one of the things I think is really exciting, actually, with the online multiplayer, they said that they're going to be looking into seeing what they can do about DLC library mismatches. So, like, if I want to play something horrible like Never Gonna Give You Up online, but only one of the other three players...
No, something horrible would be...
Photographed by Nickelback and... But let's be realistic here. If let's say I'm the only person that has or let's say 3 of the 4 of us players have Photographed by Nickelback, and I choose it for some reason, and this 4th player doesn't have it. They're looking into seeing what they can do about one player not having a DLC song or something.
Is there like license issues with that bullshit,
I don't know how they're planning on handling.
That's the problem with these things. Is got so many license issues from freaking
and those license
bands
end up, like expiring and stuff.
The record companies and shit. It's a mess.
Well, I'm trying to find their exact statement on it, but they said something about trying to figure out what they're going to do. They're saying we're early in the design phase here, but the idea is to give you quick play style gameplay while addressing some concern about DLC library mismatches and giving everyone chances to pick songs. So that could be very interesting. So we'll see what happens. So moving on. Steam is now accepting Bitcoin for payment now. So,
I mean, there you go.
It's interesting. I mean,
Bitcoin is
a weird thing. Is it still picking up? Because I heard there was some huge theft of Bitcoin not too long ago, and like a bunch of Bitcoins got stolen by some bank of Bitcoin, and it inflated the value of them ridiculously. I don't know what happened.
Still, like, 1 Bitcoin is like...
It's worth a lot of money.
A lot of money. Yeah. So, like... So if there's inflation, it's going to take a while to... They made it so large per Bitcoin that,
Right.
For inflation, I guess. It's $440. It's weakening, but it fluctuates every day.
Maybe weakening, but it is the currency of the future.
It could be.
It is that Steam is now accepting it, though. That Steam is a particularly large player. I know a lot of the companies that accept Bitcoin are, like smaller firms that primarily exist online, or
the good thing about
illegal services that you can find on the deep web.
Bitcoin it's universal across different countries. So
that is true, yeah.
I mean, that's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
Talk about Bitcoin.
Which you earn by just having computer do math problems, apparently. I don't know how that works.
Oh, yeah, like I've watched a documentary on it. It was very interesting because they install, each server they install is like a certain amount of Bitcoins. It contains a certain amount of Bitcoins, and they keep adding some every day.
It was interesting.
To build up, and it has a certain amount. It's weird, man. This Bitcoin stuff, like this Bitcoin stuff, makes no sense to me. But like, even I watched the documentary, it still didn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it made some sense, but it's just I can't fathom what the hell someone who came out with this.
Right.
It's like, because you're creating a currency that is not bound to a government.
Yeah, that is really interesting.
Or like any central banking thing here, or I guess there's the bank. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well,
it's so confusing.
Moving on to our final topic of this episode, the Humble Friends of Nintendo bundle. So Humble Bundle's got their new bundle out. It's as of the time of this recording, 12 days left on there. So plenty of time.
Yeah, when I get paid tomorrow, I'm gonna buy it.
You can buy it tomorrow. But
it's got.
So you get with the Humble Friends of Nintendo bundle, you get a bunch of 3DS and Wii U games for $1 or more. You get Retro City Rampage DX for 3DS, Affordable Space Adventures for Wii U, and Shantae and the Pirate's Curse for Wii U and 3DS. For beating the average, which right now is at $9.76. You also get Freedom Planet for Wii U, Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure for 3DS, Citizens of Earth for Wii U or 3DS, and a Retro City Rampage DX theme for the 3DS, with more games to be added to that category soon. And then at $13, you unlock Super Street Fighter 4 3D Edition for 3DS and Darksiders 2 for Wii U.
I think it's for $13. That's a great deal.
That's a really great deal, yeah.
Well, Humble Bundle is always a great deal, no matter what. Some people bitch. It's like, you're paying way under the market value of these things.
Oh, but it just destroys the value of those games.
It does destroy the value of those games. So much that it's like, I don't even know I own these games. And it's like, whatever. Because back in the day, you buy a game, you'd play the fucking game. Mm-hmm. When you shell out $50, and that's all you had for the next few weeks to a month.
Oh, yeah.
You played that game. Now it's just, you buy it, we both of us have huge backlogs. And we just can't get to everything.
So, yeah, Humble Friends of Nintendo bundle is pretty cool. I'm excited to see what else gets added to it, mainly because I want to do some great Wii U library padding.
Ooh.
Eventually, it's going to be the size of my Steam library, and I'll tell you right now, I go out of my way to pad that up. So.
You might want to slow down now.
I only have a small problem.
Yeah, I stopped buying games unless it's something that's, the Zelda I will go out and buy day one. Doom, right. I will go out and buy day one. But
so, anyways, I think that pretty much wraps up our show. I am feeling very tired right now. In case it wasn't evident. But yeah, that wraps up our show. Got through all those topics. I'm still alive. But
still alive.
Thanks for listening, guys. We actually have a website now.
Oh yeah, we do.
KCGN. We should not mention it then. So disregard.
Well, no, I mean, it's got our stuff on there, playlists for SoundCloud.
Mm-hmm.
So please do that.
Yeah, check it out. KCGN.blogspot.com is our current website as of this recording.
Hopefully to get our own domain.
Yeah. So check it out. We're going to have all of the podcast episodes on there. So it's going to be cool stuff. Thanks for listening, guys. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch.
And we're going to stream.
We do need to stream at some point. I'm not sure when, but we can discuss that soon.
You're still working on review. Tron.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you need to get on that.
Yeah,
that was supposed to be out months ago. Well, you were waiting on the...
I was waiting on the full release, and then,
which has been
for whatever reason, it stopped reading my controller inputs, which is very strange. I'm going to do some looking into that and see if I can figure out what's going on, but anyways, that's our episode. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we will hopefully talk to you sooner than it took for us to do this episode. So,
hopefully through this stream or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And thank you again for listening, everyone, and have a great day, night, whenever. See you later.